It was a productive day for Team Penske with Ryan Blaney getting the win, while Toyota has some tough questions to answer after two teammates tussled. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove, presented by Tableau TV. New Hampshire post-race instant reaction. We have so much to get to. Josh Berry was this close to going from worst to first. It was a great day for all but one of the Team Penske players. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about an efficient afternoon for the remaining Hendrick Motorsports trio. A couple of Toyota teammates got into it. We'll break that down in a bit. 23-11 with the first race flop, Groovy Gauge at the end, and so much more. But let's begin with Ryan Blaney. Third win of the season for YRB. The number 12 team locks themselves into the round of 8. They established themselves early on as the team to beat. Joey Logano sat on the pole. Joey Logano led the most laps, but in a race that was defined by long green flag runs in the second half, long run, Ryan Blaney came to play. Credit to the pit crew for no mistakes. Jonathan Hassler, once again, a great setup. This is why Ryan Blaney was my pre-playoffs championship pick. This is now 9 top 10 finishes in the past 10 races. They have 2 wins in that span, an incredible 5.6 average finish. The only race in the last 2 months he didn't score a top 10, he got wrecked. Ryan Blaney has so much speed everywhere. That's why I've bought Ryan Blaney stock in recent weeks while selling some of my broader Team Penske shares. Joey Logano ran a great race today. Josh Berry, hell of a comeback. Austin Cindric was out to lunch. We'll talk about that in a moment. But Ryan Blaney, you can count on him anytime, anywhere. Blaney has 3 wins this year at 3 very different tracks. He has a win at a concrete intermediate in Nashville Super Speedway. He has a drafting track win at Daytona a few weeks back. And now a win at a short flat track, Penske specialty, the short track aero package. So versatile, so consistent, so damn fast. The only reason Blaney didn't win the regular season championship is because they had 7 DNFs the first 26 races. Most of them weren't their fault. Wrong place, wrong time. But when everything's going right, which it usually does, this is the best team in the NASCAR Cup Series garage. They proved it once again today. Now, the NASCAR playoffs in their current form are volatile. I think Ryan Blaney has a great shot to get to the championship but then it's one race. And if Joey Logano is in that race, we've seen the past few years, they will battle wheel to wheel. Christopher Bell could get into that race. He won the spring race. Denny Hamlin finished a close second in the spring. Phoenix, one race, unique track. Anything can happen. But right now, I feel really good about Ryan Blaney's chances of at least making it interesting, getting to Phoenix and having a real shot at his second Cup Series championship. Today was just a phenomenal race. Even when they lost track position about midway through, they opted for 4 tires when others chose 2. They didn't panic. They didn't put themselves in a vulnerable position. Blaney slowly but surely, methodically worked his way back up into the top 5, made up for that lost track position. When they're firing on all cylinders, there's no one in the series better right now. Ryan Blaney gets the win, well deserved. It was a tremendous second half rally by Josh Berry, the Wood brothers, a team that couldn't buy a bucket in the first round. 3 races, 3 last place finishes. Some poor execution, but a lot of just rotten luck. Josh Berry got spun by Shane Van Gisbergen early in this race. Early stage 2, they're racing for 5th. SVG was feeling good about himself. Great qualifying effort. Strong top 10 run in the first half of this race. Aggressive move to the inside, kind of a late move. Berry was diamonding the corner, came down, they make contact. Berry spins. Fortunately, Josh Berry did not sustain significant damage and spent the entire second half of this race methodically working his way towards the front. On equal tires, Berry was probably a teeny bit better than Ryan Blaney. But the way this race shook out, green flag cycle, then a caution for Cody Ware, breaking the number 1 rule of stock car racing. Berry's only shot at the win was to stay out, take that track position, hope that his 12-lap older tires would be enough to hold off the hard-charging Blaney. They weren't. It was close. He made it interesting, but I think he used up what little life he had left before the checkered flag. Still a tremendous race from Josh Berry, a great showing from this team, great resilience again after a disastrous opening round. Today showed that, hey, they had playoff contender speed, just didn't get a chance to show it the last few weeks. Great run for them today. Before I get off the topic of Team Penske, got to give Joey Logano a special mention. Logano and Blaney each won a stage today. Logano actually earned the most stage points, 19 stage points, ends up fourth, but a very productive day for the defending series champion who entered this race just below the cut line. We'll look at the points in a moment. He's built himself a solid cushion after just one race. Team Penske was supposed to be good today. That's not a surprise. Team Penske's been up and down inconsistent this year, besides Blaney, but the short flat ovals continue to be their specialty. And Joey Logano was one of the few tire test participants in July at New Hampshire. They had a special handle on this specific track tire combo. No shock that Joey Logano won the pole, led the most laps, scored a top 5. What is shocking is how terrible Austin Cindric, Brian Wilson, and the number 2 team were today. They were awful. Unacceptable. I'm just going to say unacceptable performance from Austin Cindric and that entire team. And it's not the first time it's happened in these playoffs. Gateway, a similar short flat oval a couple weeks ago. Joey Logano up in the top 5, Ryan Blaney up in the top 5, Cindric 19th. Today, Cindric was, no surprise, not on the list. 17th today for the 2 team. Josh Berry almost won this race. The satellite team had a winning car, and you couldn't muster a measly top 15, couldn't muster a single stage point. The vibes were bad in qualifying, had a really good lap going, was probably going to qualify up at the front with his teammates, got sideways in turn 4, blew the lap, bad starting spot, bad performance, bad day, bad points day, just unacceptable. It'd be one thing if this was a one-off, but it's not. It happened at Gateway 2 weeks ago. So yeah, the 2 team in desperation mode the rest of this round. Kansas, we'll see. He's a good road racer. Maybe they can make some magic happen at the Roval. But the 2 team is the Team Penske team that I've liquidated all assets I had in the number 2 team over the past few weeks. Joey Logano, to his credit, this is 3 straight top 5s, all short track, shorter-ish tracks. I mean, again, that's their bread and butter. Logano's starting to make me believe. I'm getting a little nervous. Okay, maybe this is a round of 8. Maybe this is even a championship 4 team. I'll give Logano and them credit, but the bad luck for Berry, bad performances from Cindric. Yeah, I'm so mixed on Team Penske right now because I'm a big believer in Blaney. How could you not be? Not quite sure what to make of Joey. Cindric, Berry, goodness gracious. It is a roller coaster. Just very disappointing that Austin Cindric never sniffed the front. He was the one guy today to try the 2 tire strategy, and it didn't work. Everybody else took 2 tires, stayed up near the front. Not Cindric. He dropped like a rock outside the top 10. Didn't take long. So, man, they missed it. Got to go back to the drawing board. I don't know how you miss it so badly when your teammates hit it square center in the sweet spot. Let's talk about Hendrick Motorsports. 3rd place for William Byron. Great result. I think they said this was his first top 10 at New Hampshire for his career. That's crazy. I know for a fact it was Byron's first top 10 in over a month. The 24 team hasn't been bad. They just haven't looked like championship contenders. They haven't looked like the regular season champions they proved themselves to be over the summer. So great to see a top 5 showing from that 24 team. Chase Elliott qualified 27th. Got to get better on Friday and Saturday, but they moved their way forward. Great on the long run in race today. Top 5 for Chase Elliott. Huge points. Needed that. And what can I say? Solid strategy call by Alan Gustafson at the end. It worked out. Running long, being one of the last to pit during that final green flag cycle, meant that they still had fairly fresh tires when that Cody Ware caution came out. They stayed out, took that track position, and went from probably being like a 7th to 10th place team to finishing 5th. Maximized, I think, the points they were capable of getting today. Good result for Elliott. Kyle Larson at times today showed some of the best speed we've seen from him in weeks. Comes home with a solid top 10. Good points days for the 3 Hendrick guys remaining. But now let's talk about Joe Gibbs Racing, Toyota more broadly. After winning the first 3 races of the playoffs, not a single Toyota inside the top 5. The defending New Hampshire winner, Christopher Bell, on 4 fresh tires, could only get to 6th on that final run. Chase Briscoe, I don't think had a great car today, but took 2 tires to at least get some stage points. He comes home with a top 10. He had 4 tires on at the end and was able to get a pretty good result. But safe to say, this was not what we expected from Joe Gibbs Racing, who had won 3 straight New Hampshire races coming in. As good as they'd been recently, I thought Bell, Briscoe, Denny, they would be the guys to beat. Denny Hamlin was barely a top 10 car. He comes home, 12th? Christopher Bell earned 5 stage points today to lead all Toyotas. That's not great. And what happened to 2311 Racing? Tyler Reddick, 21st? Bubba Wallace, 26th? That's a head scratcher. They've been so good lately. Bubba Wallace especially, a couple of top 10s in that first round. The last time this tire combo was used was at Richmond a few weeks back. Reddick and Wallace led a ton of laps, may have been the best 2 cars in that race. How did they miss New Hampshire this badly? And I know Reddick battled some brake issues, but Bubba Wallace just out to lunch. What? After an incredible 3-race opening round, I'm left with a lot of questions surrounding Toyota, specifically within the walls of Joe Gibbs Racing. Let's talk about the big drama of the day, early stage 2. Battling for 11th. Ty Gibbs, young Joe Gibbs Racing driver, was trying to hold off Denny Hamlin and Christopher Bell, his playoff teammates. Hamlin on the radioed a couple times asking essentially for help. Hey, can the 54 cut us a break here? Ty Gibbs never really did. Continued to race hard, keep the 11, keep the 20 at bay. And eventually, Denny just decided enough was enough and shipped the 54, spun Ty Gibbs around, essentially ended Ty Gibbs' day. He gets into the wall here, issues with the tow truck. He goes 9 laps down, came back out later, hit the wall, bent a toe link, DNF. Denny Hamlin essentially ended his young teammate's day because he wasn't making it easier to pass. Immediately after the incident, Hamlin came over the radio and yelled, "What the F is Ty Gibbs doing?"
Are they afraid to talk to him? That's what I feel like. They're just scared of him.
Ty Gibbs and Denny Hamlin both essentially refused to comment on this situation during their post-race media availabilities. On pit road after the race, you could see Denny Hamlin, in my opinion, having a fairly animated discussion with team owner, Coach Joe Gibbs. It's a rough situation, absolutely, that now Joe Gibbs Racing will need to tackle Monday, Tuesday of this week. Get things settled before Kansas in 7 days. Here's my take. Denny Hamlin, 100% at fault for the on-track incident. I get him being frustrated that his junior teammate, that's not a playoff driver, wasn't racing with a little more respect, a little more self-awareness, giving them a little extra space. I get the frustration there, but that doesn't give you the green light to wreck your teammate for 11th, less than halfway through this race. Like, that's obviously a blatant overreaction on Denny Hamlin's part, 100%. What this incident tells me, how I judge some of that Denny Hamlin radio communication, it tells me that they don't really respect Ty Gibbs. And I'm not saying that they actively disrespect him. I'm just saying I'm not sure they respect Ty Gibbs as being at their level, which I understand. I mean, Ty Gibbs is 22 years old. What has he done since getting to the NASCAR Cup Series? He hasn't won a race. He's 3 years in, missed the playoffs. New guy Chase Briscoe shows up, immediately looks like a title contender. I know they'd never say it, but this incident suggests to me there's lingering tension around the fact that Coach Joe Gibbs's grandson is driving one of his NASCAR Cup Series cars. That is a very awkward dynamic just naturally. It's even more awkward in a situation like this. The star championship contending 20-year vet Denny Hamlin has an issue with the new kid Ty Gibbs that hasn't lived up to his potential just yet. Who does he get to talk to about it? Oh, the kid's literal grandfather. It's just awkward, and it's going to be a difficult conversation this week because what Denny Hamlin essentially admitted there with his front bumper is that he doesn't really respect his boss's grandson, his fellow competitor. At least not like he respects a lot of other drivers within the team or within the NASCAR Cup Series garage. I mean, that was what essentially just got admitted right there. Again, to be clear here, Denny Hamlin was in the wrong. I'm not saying he's wrong to not see eye to eye with Ty Gibbs all the time. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he was wrong to lose his cool first half at New Hampshire and wreck a guy for 11th, wreck his own teammate for 11th. You can't do that. Playoff pressure getting to him, I don't know. We can over-psychoanalyze Denny Hamlin as much as we want. I think I've done enough of that here over the past couple of minutes, so I'll stop before I get too ahead of myself. All this is to say, to tie this up, it's going to be a really awkward Monday, Tuesday meeting. And I mean, shoot, Denny and Ty may be flying home on the same plane right now. Maybe they're hashing things out right now as we speak. That's certainly possible. Ty has roughed up teammates in the past. His teammates have seen that. This is a bridge here that's going to need to be rebuilt, mended, I think, over the coming weeks during the offseason going into 2026. Because while the results have not been there last couple seasons, I don't suspect Ty Gibbs is going anywhere. Ty Gibbs is going to be a part of Joe Gibbs Racing for likely many years to come, and Denny Hamlin's got 2 more years on his contract, so they're going to have to mend these fences sooner rather than later. Moving on, 1 race down, 2 races to go here in the round of 12, Kansas, and then a road course, the Charlotte Roval. Here's what the point situation looks like. Ryan Blaney has advanced. William Byron and Kyle Larson are both in good positions, but hey, 1 really bad race, you could be right there on that cut line, could throw that entire advantage away, so you're still not too comfortable. Bell, Hamlin, okay. Joey Logano, the other big winner this week, again, entered this race, I think 2 points out. He's now 24 points up. Again, 1 bad race, that could all go away. New Hampshire is definitely Logano's best track in this round, so hopefully they can manage that gap the next 2 weeks. Chase Elliott plus 14, Chase Briscoe plus 12. Man, what a difference 1 round to the next makes. Briscoe had a tremendous round of 16, finished 1st, 2nd, and 9th. Today, though, missed out on a lot of stage points. Top 10, not bad, but remember, he only had 1 win in the regular season. Not a ton of playoff points to his credit, and that's coming back to bite him here. Only a 12-point cushion, not feeling too comfortable early in this round. Below the cut line now, Ross Chastain. I hope for a little more from Ross. Again, he was one of the drivers that took part in that July tire test here, but maybe they were a top 10 car at best. Cindric, well documented, very disappointing performance from Austin Cindric. And then 23-11 racing. I mentioned Briscoe. Shoot, Bubba Wallace. What a difference 1 round to the next makes. Bubba earned more stage points than anyone in the round of 16. Had a couple of great finishes, great top 10 results. Bad race today, and he's in a hole. Again, if he'd earned more playoff points in the regular season, wouldn't be in as deep of a hole here, but this is where they find themselves now. Fortunately for the 2 23-11 teammates, Kansas is next. Now, the last year or 2, Kansas has not been a kind track to them, but before that, early next gen, Reddick has a win there, Bubba has a win there. They have been great at Kansas in recent years. So great opportunity next Sunday. Reddick also has the Roval. He's a great road racer. Bubba's improved as well. His Roval numbers are solid, but Reddick at the Roval, great shot at a top 5, stage points. So they're not out of it. I don't think anyone here is like out of it, but if you're Wallace, if you're Reddick, you got to pitch a near perfect game the next 2 weeks. That is a tall task. Whoa, and just like that, lead points have turned into the Groovy Gauge, powered by Electric E-Bikes. Head to electricebikes.com to find a ride that suits you. I thought this was a wildly entertaining New Hampshire Motor Speedway race. I mean, there's a reason they went from 2 dates to 1. The Magic Mile has not consistently put on a memorable show. I thought today's race was really solid from start to finish. Again, different tire combo than Goodyear has run here in the past. I think they deserve a lot of credit. We saw a lot of passing for position. Like in stage 1, Ryan Blaney, he qualified like 2nd or whatever, but he got a bad start, shuffled back to 7th in the opening laps. Methodically worked his way back to the lead, was able to pass 1 car at a time to take the lead, get the stage win, all within the first 60 laps. I'm not used to seeing that kind of passing at New Hampshire. Josh Berry, the second to last run, passed a lot of cars. Guys on tires like Bell, Briscoe, the final 40 laps, passed a lot of cars. And in the first half of this race, there were a lot of guys slipping, getting loose. John Hunter Nemechek backed it into the fence. Contact from Austin Dillon sent Cody Ware around. Cody Ware tried, I guess, to retaliate and failed miserably. Keselowski made it 5 wide on a restart, got pinched, wrecked SVG and a bunch of others. It was good racing, hard racing, 2 and 3 wide, contact, incidents, drama, teammate beef. I thought the first half of this race was wild. Second half, a bit more straightforward, but all the deserving drivers and teams found their way towards the front, settled it amongst themselves. Not too much funny business, messing with things. I'm going to give this race an 80% on the Groovy Gauge. I thought this was a very, very good race, especially for New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of today's Mobile One 301 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Checking my notes real quick. Oh, I do want to mention Kyle Busch real quick. Do I want to end this episode on a down note? Kyle Busch, man, it's embarrassing at this point. I'm at the point now where you got to blow that whole team up. Randall Burnett, sorry, bro, but like something's got to give. Something's got to change. Kyle Busch was 35th, a lap down on the opening run. He looked like a moving chicane in the second half of this race after they got a little bit of damage, granted. But to fire off with 30th place speed, their teammate Austin Dillon was in the top 15 at the end. That's unacceptable. I get it. Kyle hasn't adapted to this car. He's better than that. This team should be better than that. I expect huge moves this offseason. Yeah, I know they've given Randall and Kyle plenty of runway. This is their third year together. I'm not seeing improvement. I'm seeing what's the opposite of improvement? Regression. I am seeing dramatic regression out of this 8 team. This is one of those races from Kyle today. We've seen it a couple times in recent years where it felt like he just gave up, fired off, knew they didn't have it, and didn't try. He needs someone else in his ear. They need different people at the shop making things happen because, man, I feel for Kyle Busch fans. Like, I don't know how I'd sit through another year of this. So, yeah, I figured I would at least mention that it was another hard watch out there today. Can I end on a positive? Oh, I didn't mention this. Spire Motorsports. Carson Hocevar was in the top 10 all day. I think he finished 11th. Michael McDowell scored a 9th place finish. Solid run for Spire. We've seen like the legacy guys sort of break up the playoff drivers up front. Today it was kind of the Spire teammates. So that was cool to see. Wanted to give them some credit. That's it. Okay, that's all I've got. Thank you all so much for watching this episode. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more NASCAR race reactions, news, rumors, commentary, and so much more every day, every week, all year long. Appreciate your support. Have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great start to the new week. I will talk to you again soon. Thanks again for watching.